Hi, I'm Sarah Zervos from Global Reach. To hike or not to hike? That is the question faced by the Federal Reserve right now in terms of interest rates. Why is it such a hard decision? It seems like the Fed members aren't sure what to do, and neither are financial markets when they're observing them. Well, the Fed's job, remember, is to keep inflation low and employment high. And in fact, one way to think about it is to think that the economy is a natural cycling entity. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. And when the economy goes up, it's the Fed's job to make sure that inflation doesn't go too high, too crazy, and so they tend to raise rates. When the economy suffers and slows down, they're worried about employment. They don't want people to lose too many jobs, so they cut rates. It kind of looks like this. As you can see, when the economy goes up, the Fed hikes. When the economy gets down too low, the Fed cuts. Seems pretty simple, right? Well, the problem is when we hit the crisis in 2008-2009, we had a situation where the economy plummeted hard and unemployment skyrocketed. And in that situation, it looks sort of like this. Big crash. Since then, actually back then, they cut rates to 0. That's the lowest they could go, and they even did quantitative easing. So since then, the economy's actually had normal oscillations as it's been heading back to more normal levels. If you looked at the economy in these last 5 years, you would see, that would be similar to when the Fed hikes, that would be a cut, that would be a hike, that would be a cut. But in fact, this whole time period, the Fed kept rates at 0. So now that brings us up to the present moment. Things are pretty good. In fact, unemployment's down to normal levels. It hit I think it's 5.1% in the last reading. However, on a cyclical basis, it's a little soft. Remember, China has been slowing. Retail sales are kind of flat. We're not contracting, that's for sure, but the expansion is giving a little bit of a pause. So, to hike or not to hike? My guess is they're not going to this year. We're getting mixed signals, but right now I think the thing that we have to watch is inflation. It's super low. If oil prices fall further, inflation falls further, I think the Fed's going to hold. If inflation holds steady, or for sure if it ticks up a little bit, I think they know it's past time and that we're due for an interest rate hike.